PCBWay is one of the leading PCB manufacturers out there, and it is the manufacturer I use for my products. Now, if you're either a hobbyist and or looking to create a final product, PCBWay is going to be a really great choice with their 24-hour and also assembly services. So go ahead and check the links down below. Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back. So finally we have some new interesting products and we can kind of see where the future of this hobby is actually going. First of all, we're going to be doing the Banggood window shopping, or just taking a look at some new products that I found interesting and you might find interesting as well. And everything is linked down below in the order we check them out. So with that being said, let's get started. So first of all, I want to start it off with this one. So this is called the Goku HD745. Now, there's really nothing interesting about it. At first glance, it's just a 20x20 all-in-one. However, when you take a closer look at the F7 part, it's an F745. And you're like, well, what the hell? We always had 20x20 F7s. However, this one's an F745 again, which are the ones that are usually on the Kakute V2s, those really big F7s that are much more powerful than the F722s. And the way they were able to implement this on this all-in-one 20x20 is using a different package, which is the BGA package of the F745, which means that it has no legs and everything's under the microcontroller unit soldered with balls. And that's what she said. So yeah, that's how they're able to fit an F745, thus rendering it as the most powerful 20x20 flight controller in terms of processing. Now, it comes in 3 different flavors, and let's talk about some of the specs here. Again, we have the flight control, the on-screen display. We even have a 9-volt for the DJI setups on all different variants. And it's a plus and play if you read the title, which means plug and play DJI. So you can just plug in the DJI and you'll be good to go in that connector. And I'm pretty confident they'll provide that connector for you. Now, they all have 9 volts, they all have 5 volts, they all have on-screen display for your analog setup. So if you didn't want to go the DJI route, you could still take advantage of that 9 volt on your analog VTX, which is really nice. Now, if we scroll up here just to see a bit more on the specs, we see that we do have a barometer, MPU 6000 gyro is what we expect actually. Bunch of UARTs, and again the 9 volt. And we even have 8 megabytes for flash memory. If you're having issues, you could have some memory to save your black box logs, which is really great to have. Now, the only difference between these 3 obviously is going to be price, microcontroller unit, and ESC output power. So let's make sense of this. The most expensive one, which is the one we're looking at, it's an F745, 40 amp BL32 ESCs built in. Next one down the line is an F4 with 40 amps BL-S ESCs. And the one right under is just going to be, again, an F4 with 20 amp BL-S ESCs. So I think this is going to be a really nice sweet spot, especially for some scene whoops out there. Definitely want to try this one out here. And obviously the more expensive one. And both of the 40 amps theoretically could go up to 6S voltage, which is really insane. And theoretically 40 amps on tiny FET. So time will tell, and you know, Flywoo, I have high hopes for Flywoo because it's not a no-name and they really have a reputation to keep. So I'm pretty confident it's going to perform somewhat good. Probably 8 out of 10 in my opinion. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the next product. Very quickly, this is just a power distribution board, and if you don't know what that is, if you're new to this hobby, we used to use these stuff. But this one is not any power distribution board. This one's made by Matec. And it's for hexacopters. So any quadcopter that has 6 motors, you could use it. It makes your life a little bit easier because before we didn't have this. So you'll be able to run your ESCs just fine. It's really nice. It has a lot of features. Matec are well known for doing really good power distribution boards ever since, for the longest time now. I always say, whenever in doubt, just go Matec. And yeah, it's really nice. It has some extra features, some regulators. If you're running DJI, you can easily access those as well. Next. So now we're looking at the next stack. So this is a new Rush FPV stack combo called the Blade. There's 2 different variants. You got to be careful. There's a digital and an analog. The digital, as the name implies, it doesn't have an on-screen display for the analog because it's digital, and it's just meant to work for the DJI stuff. It's just the flight control that's the difference. They also have an analog variant, which I recently received, and I never thought they actually made one. They are absolutely gorgeous flight controllers, designed properly. You have connectors everywhere, and on the other side, it's just flush with soldering pads everywhere. And the ESC, again, I've tested the ESC, absolutely gorgeous, without even that power distribution board thing they give you, or the power filter board, whatever they're calling it. So this is a really great stack in my opinion. And yeah, just make sure you take note of what you're buying, whether it's digital or the analog, so you don't screw up. So this, I have no idea what the hell to make sense of. It's a 2204 motor, which at first glance, like, yes, some 2204 motors. But when you look a little bit deeper, it's just like, what the hell's going on here? It's a 2204 motor, so it's basically like a 5-inch quadcopter sized motor. However, it has the mounting solution for 2-inch propellers, which is kind of like, it's just a bit of a mind fuck, if I should say. I don't know what the hell to think of this. Is there something coming out that I haven't seen? So maybe it's a new trend, or maybe they see something. It's interesting. I want to try it, but it's a really heavy ass motor for some kind of a toothpick. But maybe these are made for 5-inch toothpicks. I mean, that kind of makes sense, because if we scroll down here, I didn't even know they made 5-inch propellers that'll actually use this kind of setup here. So I don't know how the hell they're testing it. Using the Gemfan 51 5.1-inch propeller. That's just, something is clearly wrong. I just don't understand what's going on. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's real. So again, we have a 6S variant, 2204, and a 3000 kV variant. And yeah, I don't know what's going on here. The weight of the motors is 22 grams, including the wire. That is a pretty heavy motor for a toothpick, I guess. And the idle current is 1.5 amps, so that's soaking up a lot of current there. I saw it somewhere here. Yeah, so shaft diameter is 1.5 millimeters. Let me know what you think down in the comment section, because I have no idea what to think about this. Next. So the GHAMCU, they've created something which I think not a lot of people would like, but maybe that's just me saying that. So at first glance, it looks like an all-in-one Crazy Bee type board, but you're wrong. This is a 30x30 all-in-one board with super tiny FETs. That's rated up to 40 amps in 6S. No way in hell I would put 6S on this. It just won't last. There's no way this would last. And a crash probably this will just pop out right there, these little FETs. So I don't know what they're thinking. I think if they're, hopefully they're watching, then listen to this. Make one like the old Airbot AskGuard. I miss those. They're called the Airbot AskGuards. I know it was a funny name back then, and it's still a funny name today, but they were absolutely gorgeous to build with. Those were some of the most proper, at least for 4S, those were some of the most proper 30x30 all-in-one boards out there. They were absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to see if I can still have one of those older ones. Absolutely awesome. Such a beauty to build. So yeah, if you're looking into doing that GHMCU, please go that route. And this is, I think, a bit too expensive for what this actually is here. Anyways, let's move on. Next, this is an honorable mention. If you missed it, this is the best 20x20 in terms of noise I've tested. This is the best 20x20 4-in-1 ESC on 6S high demanding setup test, which is insane. This is by far one of the best ones I've ever tested on 6S noise testing. And it is competing with the top tier 30x30s. So definitely check this out if you're looking for the best of the best. This one here, I just found interesting and I just bought it. It's just basically a bunch of 1S HVs, 6 of them, GNB, pretty decent battery, 6 pieces for 24 bucks. I thought it was really good, so I picked some up. And yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. One more thing, we have AskFPV. If you don't know this, I released a price comparison website so you can compare all FPV web shops, and I'm adding some every other day. And you can see actually what people are searching for, so you can get some ideas and know what's really trending right now. So go ahead and check it out. And for example, if you wanted to go buy something, I don't know, let's just say HGLRC, no, let's not say HGLRC, let's just say Mamba F405. As of right now, it doesn't group, but eventually it'll start grouping once I get more data. So this will go and search Mamba F405 on many different websites, and you could actually go ahead and check them out. So let's scroll down here. So here we can see we have all of our Mamba stacks, and you could choose whatever one you want. We have quite a lot of Mamba stuff here. You have AMAX, you have Banggood, Race Day Quads, Pyro Drone, AMAX China. You have Race Day Quads again, GETFPV, Banggood. There's more websites, also Pyro Drone. So yeah, this will go and search just about every one of the well-known ones. I also do have HGLRC iFlight in there, Flywoo, and some other ones also. I've gotten so many, Makerfire. I haven't added GearBest yet. I don't know if anybody uses GearBest. Anyways, check it out. It's linked down below. It's also available in the application. The application, you get more features upcoming, such as subscribe to a product and wait for a price drop and a coupon and or a sale, which should help you save some cash. And everything's linked down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.